Win a Pageant, episode 106. Beauty, Truth, and Grace is your step-by-step pageant training manual. Get your copy of this Amazon best-selling book at winapageant.com/book. Hey girl, welcome to the Win a Pageant podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Darby. Hey, before we dive into today's episode, I just wanted to share with you some love that I recently received from a pageant sister on Amazon. Danielle writes, "This is quite an amazing book. Not only does Alicia break down every aspect of becoming a successful queen, but she infuses her writing with enough love to help guide just about anyone to becoming a better and happier human being. This book is not just for someone who wants to win a pageant, it's for any woman who wants to become the best version she can be. I loved reading her book. I feel like a winner already." Danielle, thank you so much for those kind words. I so appreciate it. And if you have not yet left a review for the book Beauty, Truth, and Grace, then I would love to hear what you think of the book. You can leave a review or buy the book at winapageant.com/book. Just scroll down to the bottom and click Leave a Customer Review. Now, today we're talking about pageant roommates. Often we feel like a roommate is more of competition than she is a friend. But really, the truth is that most pageant women just want to love and be loved. That's most humans in general, right? But of course, you have heard the scary stories of people putting Nair in the shampoo so that their other contestant loses all of her hair or something. Women have ripped out zippers, so they say, or even just a woman who hogs all of the closet space. Now, crazy stuff, of course, does happen. Like, there are exceptions to every rule, but it is not the norm. However, even without the idea of someone wanting to be malicious, the concept of competition and the exhaustion and emotional roller coaster of pageantry often does bring out the worst in people. So, you have to actively prepare to be a really good friend and to earn a good friend in your pageant roommate. Now, my first ever pageant roommate experience was with a woman who was also competing in her first state pageant. So for the both of us, we were brand new. Now, Shannon was and is a beautiful woman. She's got this crystal clear olive skin, voluminous jet black hair, and absolutely perfect makeup. Not to mention her style is impeccable. So, of course, I was instantly intimidated when I found out that that was my roommate. I was like, oh no, yikes, right? But she is so down to earth. She is so super sweet. And during pageant week, this is the most adorable thing ever. The middle of pageant week, she actually had her mom go out and pick up a beautiful and generous gift, which was such a surprise to me because we were both vying for similar positions in the top 10, if not, of course, the winner. Fortunately, we both made it into the top 10, which was our goal for the pageant, and we ended up becoming very good friends. I visited her at college. She flew actually to Illinois to watch me compete in a different pageant, and later I had the pleasure of watching her win the same pageant, Miss Pennsylvania. And it was 5 years after we started this journey together. So, of course, I had like tears rushing down my face. I felt like I won the pageant. So it was so fun to like create. And that was my first ever pageant roommate experience. My most recent pageant roommate experience was in the Miss California International pageant. A woman that I had competed with a few years prior, that was when I placed first runner-up, she was competing again, and actually she reached out to me on Facebook to see if I would room with her. And I did because I was so excited that she was willing to reach out and that she wasn't intimidated, she wasn't afraid. That told me a lot about her character and who she is. So that excited me that she was well-developed and mature and all of that. So I ended up rooming with her. We had such a wonderful experience. She's super down to earth, really just made for a lovely week. Of course, we were mindful of one another. We kept a healthy distance and we supported each other just like friends. Then later that year, I was able to do an appearance because I had then won the pageant. I was able to do an appearance at an event where her artwork was being honored throughout an entire museum, which is such a huge honor. It was a beautiful moment that I was able to be there then to celebrate her success. So in this episode, I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you make friends with your pageant roommate and to ensure that she's not going to put Nair in your shampoo. So the first thing is to expect acceptance. So I shared with you with my first pageant roommate experience, I felt really intimidated, and I was young at the time, but I really felt intimidated, like maybe she wouldn't accept me. Maybe I wasn't going to be like fitting in with who she was, or maybe, and it wasn't the case at all, you know. With my second experience that I shared with you, my most recent experience, I had 10 years under my belt of maturity and a completely different insight into the pageant world. And so I felt much more comfortable, but also I expected to accept her and that she would accept me. So the key here is to just expect that you guys are going to be absolute fabulous friends. Thing number 2 is bring a thoughtful gift. Proverbs 18:16 says, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." Now, I want to just translate that to the daughters of the king, and that would be a woman's gift makes room for her and brings her before great women. So when you bring a thoughtful little gift, it kind of breaks the ice a little bit, and it allows that opportunity to connect outside of competition. It really levels the playing field. Tip number 3, acknowledge your needs and respect her needs. So you're not completely ignoring everything that you need. So I'm not saying shove all of your needs under the rug and just like bow down to whatever she needs. I'm saying you need to acknowledge that you have needs, but you also need to respect that she has needs too. So what might be really good is to have conversations when you first meet, like, hey, do you prefer to shower at night or to shower in the morning? Maybe one of you is able to commit to one and the other the other. That would help things out a lot. Maybe you can set up the space so that maybe if you pick which side of the closet you're using, you allow her to choose which bed or vice versa, right? Consider the time of day that's best to talk to one another's family. So if somebody has a family member that's in a completely different time zone, maybe it makes the most sense for them to make a phone call first, but then maybe you just commit to only spending 15 minutes on the phone every night, okay? Things like that. So work together to discover what meets both your needs and hers. Now, tip number 4 is to communicate with love. So always use communication that first builds love. So you would never say something that tears down you, her, or any of the other contestants. So don't shortchange yourself by saying anything that is going to cause you to feel any less than, but also don't tear her down and don't be gossiping about all of the other contestants. Anytime you do something like that, it puts a little seed of doubt in the other person's mind that, gee, if you're saying something like that about her, what might you say about me? Okay, so no gossip, communicate only with love. And tip number 5, avoid negativity and encourage positivity. When you step into a negative room, so if you can just feel that other people have been talking bad, or they're using swear words, or they're using low vibrating language, so things that are negative language, I mean, there's a reason that we call things negative and positive. It's because they have a charge. So if you are charging your room with negativity, you're going to sense that when you walk into your room. Instead, I want you to charge your room with positivity. Okay, so keep a positive outlook. And I'm not saying that you don't need to be a realist, okay? Don't, think of it's all going to be puppy dogs and rainbows, okay? You are going to have some realist moments. I just don't want you to put a negative charge into your room because you're staying there, you're living together. So keep your eye rolls, if she does something cuckoo and you give a big eye roll or, make these noises or whisper about her on the phone to your mom. Things like that are going to create a negative vibe in your room. And she's not the only one living in your room. You are too, okay? So you've got to be really open and honest about avoiding negativity. If it comes up, just squash it. Politely, just say, oh, I'm so sorry. I just really don't want to cause our room to have a negative vibe. Let's just speak positively. and you want to keep your vibes high and not low, okay? Pageants open a wonderful opportunity for really deep friendships with women that are performing at a very high level. So this is your opportunity to meet women just like you that you might not be able to meet anywhere else. And I hope that you get to experience that element of pageantry as I have been blessed to be able to, because that, my dear, is how you truly win a pageant. Thank you so much for being a part of our podcast, for tuning in and listening. If you feel moved to leave a review, I would love for you to just express an honest review of how you feel and how you've grown in these pageant trainings. You can do that at winapageant.com/iTunes from your computer. And if you haven't yet got the book, Beauty, Truth, and Grace, then I promise this book will bless your pageant preparation. It's an A to Z, everything you need to know, step by step to prepare for your pageant. You can get that book or leave a review if you already have it at winapageant.com/book. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week on Win a Pageant Podcast. Hey there, I'm Alicia Darby, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching that last video. If you totally loved it and got something from it, would you just click subscribe right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel? Hey, I am here for you, and I've got so many more trainings and videos for you. In fact, this one would be a really great one to watch next. Or if that topic doesn't interest you, then try this one. It's my most recent video training. So I think both of these would be really great for you. Thank you again so much for subscribing. I am honored to be your coach. I'll see you again soon.